Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your daily tarot insight. So before we begin, I would like to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding this space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, archangels, ancestors, my team of light, and my higher self, and I thank them for their presence and guidance with this reading. Okay, so we are coming up on the new moon in Cancer. Any lunation in the sign of Cancer is quite beneficial because Cancer is the home of the moon, and that means that the moon is at its best expression. The moon is highly related to emotions, if you think about it, and how the moon affects the tides of the oceans or the menstrual cycles in women. It's a carrier of the tides, let's say, and with that comes the emotions. So what came to me was the vulnerability aspect when it comes to emotions, and also how that relates to our inner child and our first experiences regarding nurturing love and care within our households. And that highly determines how we are able or not to be vulnerable in our relationships to ourselves, to our loved ones, and our romantic partners in general, or just life. So today I would like to call in that we reflect a little bit on what vulnerability means to us and what it means when we close up, kind of like a crab, right? A crab, which is the animal that represents Cancer, has a hard exterior. And so, on the inside, it's very, very soft, right? So how there is the importance of setting boundaries, right, between us and others, but also not putting those boundaries so hard to the point where we don't allow love or life to move through us. Okay, let's get into the tarot. So, beloved spirit of the universe, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What loving guidance is there for the collective today? This one wants to pop out. We have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the King of Wands. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Chariot. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Nine of Cups. I love the imagery on these cards. I feel like picking one more card. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so let's complement with an oracle card. What guidance is there for the collective today? We have Thoth Light Codes, Light Initiation, Great Teacher Awakening, Divine Magic. Thoth is an Egyptian god, and he was a scribe, and also he was related to magic and to the moon. And so lots of people who practice magic and divination and higher forms of magic turn to Thoth as a source of basically delivering light codes to us. Let's pick a card from this deck as well. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the card Luck is on Your Side. And I feel like picking one from Lord Ganesh, speaking of luck. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the card of Acceptance. Okay, So let's get in. Your determination to conquer the fire within has been what took you through all of these moments in your life. You have transformed a lot, and you've been able to balance your masculine and your feminine sides. Today, particularly, or in this lunation, I feel that there is some creative impetus, some forward motion movement that wants to propel you. And maybe you're not taking everything into consideration yet. Maybe there's something that you need to stop and to look at, because you are a warrior and you wear the skin of the leopard, which represents darkness and light. However, the Knight of Wands sometimes can be a little hasty. He cannot be seeing the entire picture. Unlike the King of Wands. The King of Wands has already reached that certain level of maturity. So I feel that today we are balancing between this impulsive side of us that just wants to get things going, and between the part of us that knows that there's a certain balance that is required in order to fly high. Sometimes we may let our temper or our fiery nature get the best of us. Sometimes we feel like if we know everything already that there is to know, and then there's going to be new insight that's going to come for us. However, you are going to be victorious in whatever it is that you are charging towards. Here we have the element of balance, and we have the knowing protection that the cosmos and that our guides have for us. This card actually symbolizes Cancer. So the Chariot comes to tell us that whatever it is that we're charging towards, that we're dominating with fire and balancing out with water, and somehow being able to see a higher perspective of it, we are going to be able to charge through it with a lot more groundedness, with a lot more focus. And there's going to be a happy outcome. This is a card of wishes fulfilled. And I love this interpretation of the Nine of Cups, because we see 6 cups on the side, which can represent a stability, an emotional stability. And then we have these 3 cups of celebration in the middle, and she is holding one here. So what does this mean? It means abundance. It means wishes fulfilled. It means us coming to a place of realization. Speaking of realization, we have some insight, a truth that we have been carrying within us for a long time. I feel that some of us have been very, very patient. We have been very patient, and that's why we're ready to charge forward. We have our armor, we have our fire, we have the mask ready to charge into our battle. Let's put it that way, much like Arjuna. So with this, we know that we have luck on our side, that the arrow or the sword of truth is going to pierce whatever it is that has been sitting or festering for us. And Thoth is here to allow us to put whatever wisdom we had into practice. And with that, we're going to come into greater acceptance of what is and not what we thought things were going to be, right? So I want to read from the Thoth card. Thoth Light Codes, Light Initiation, Great Teacher Awakening, Divine Magic. Thoth is also known as Tehuti, the ancient Egyptian ibis head god of writing, divine magic, and the moon. Acknowledged as a scribe who created writing, he is considered to be the great mind behind the hieroglyphs and the maintainer of the Egyptian universe. It is said that he was a priest king of Atlantis and was dedicated to leading the Atlantean people in a loving way that was firm but fair. However, no matter how hard he tried to direct them, many of them did not obey the spiritual laws of the universe, and eventually the civilization ended. This gateway takes you to a space where you can connect to the energetic frequency that Thoth carries. As a master teacher of the stars, he holds space for you to connect with some of your greatest gifts from this lifetime and the many others you have lived. Thoth's primary teaching is spiritual integrity, and he's working alongside a powerful congregation of evolved souls. He specializes in helping those who are finding it difficult to make a spiritual progress, to rise above the aspects of their life and are holding them back. So that makes sense with the spiritual progress, because fire is the most mystical element, in my opinion. It is what transmutes energy the quickest. And so if we're talking about spiritual progress or just progress in general, I can see why we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, and us charging through whatever it is that has come to test us in a certain way. And there's going to be a happy outcome. And with that outcome, we're going to have more insight. It's kind of like an epiphany, a light code, a ray of light that's going to come into us right now. So it says, chant Tehuti, Tehuti, Tehuti until you feel a shift in the energy around you. You are blessed to connect with Thoth. You are going through a powerful set of light initiations at this time, as they are preparing you to lead and teach you from a powerful space of love. In order to complete the process, there will be a release of old ideas and limiting stories, but this is necessary for you to connect with the true power within you. Don't be concerned with the intensity of the energies that surround you right now. Facing shadow parts of yourself and your story is essential for connecting with divine magic, and evolved beings of light are there to lead you the way. So what this is making me feel is that, much like Cancer and the Chariot teach us, it's the importance of having a solace within ourselves despite everything that's happening around us. So what this is called is like equanimity, right? So despite the many trials and tribulations, the passion, the whatever it is that we're having to charge towards in a victorious manner, Cancer and the Chariot reminds us of having that solace within us. And so I'm going to tie it back to vulnerability, right? So part of the dynamic of being human right now is being able to continue having a human life with all that that entails within relationships and paying bills and being present for others and for ourselves, and still being open like a flower, being open to the vulnerabilities of life. And so that is a balance that keeps on fluctuating forever, in my opinion. And that's how we go gaining wisdom as well. Like when to develop certain information, to whom, and with what tone, right? So I just want to go back to this concept of vulnerability and how there's so much strength in vulnerability. And I feel that that's ultimately what Cancer comes to teach us, right? Cancer is also related to the mother, to our relationship with our mother. So how best way to learn how to be vulnerable than mothering ourselves at the end of the day. So I just want to say that there are two cards that I consider to be victorious cards in the tarot, and they are these two cards. It's the one of the Chariot and the Ace of Swords. And with that, we have the Nine of Cups. So I feel that this is going to play out differently for other people, but whatever it is, we're going to come into a greater sense of acceptance. Okay, so to finish, I want to pick a card from Kuan Yin, the mother of unconditional love and compassion. Beloved Mother Kuan Yin, what loving guidance do you have for the collective today? What loving guidance do you have for the collective today? Okay, we have Dance of the Butterfly Queen. Number 5, and 5 in numerology indicates change. And well, we already know the main symbolism of butterflies is transformation. So let's see what this card has for us. A pure heart and sincere love attracts divine grace. With the grace of Kuan Yin, Butterfly Queen, that which is impossible becomes possible. From caterpillar to winged creature of delight, you cannot restrain what divine grace ordains, no matter how incredible it may seem to be. Whatever has been troubling you or whatever has been inspiring you, allow grace to infuse the situation or dream so that it may unfold with divine perfection. Allow the Butterfly Queen to dance. She will bring healing and grace to your life situation now, beloved one, with lightness of step and grace in her heart. The Butterfly Queen urges you now to let go of the heaviness of the situation. Allow your heart to become light as air, as though her butterfly dance was tickling your heart so lightly now. So she encourages you to receive her grace and to let go of striving and instead turn into your heart. So it's the difference between, struggling and thriving, right? So how can we be a little bit more like the butterfly right now, instead of being like this Knight of Wands, which can be good at times, but sometimes his approach is a little bit too harsh, and his energy can backfire on him, right? So he doesn't have the maturity of the Knight of Wands. However, we're going to continue forward knowing that we're protected, knowing that our inner center is what's important, right? We don't let external circumstances discombobulate us so much, because we are centered, because a wish is going to be granted. Our 9 cups are full, and with that we're going to have some insight which will lead us into acceptance. Not only that, but Tehuti or Thoth is kind of leading us the way through this spiritual awakening. There's spiritual tests that are here. And like the card said, you can call upon Tehuti to help you with these spiritual ascension or these steps that you're taking. I mean, ultimately, the universe wants everybody to live up to their full potential. So if you're feeling stuck, turn to the stars, turn to Thoth, turn to your guides, because they're always willing to help. And I'm just going to remind you that your guides cannot help you if you do not ask for help. Light beings do not intervene if you don't give them the permission, because they respect our free will. So that's just a reminder for some of you out there that if you need help, you need to ask sometimes, or always. And let's be light as a butterfly and allow whatever change that is ordained to happen to change, and to just flow with it and allow this transformational process to take place. Okay, everybody, I wish you all a great new moon in Cancer. If you liked this video, I would ask you to please share it so that it can reach other people. You never know if there's a message for somebody else. If you like it, you comment on it. It helps the algorithms a lot. And if you would like to experience a personal reading with me, you can always reach out to me or go to my personal website. Okay, everybody. Bye.